Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, Monster, the Gein story has been released, and there's some criticism coming out. Apparently, they've strayed fairly far from the known facts and the story we're familiar with, and some of that is kind of okay because he is suspected of more murders, and just because he was only tried for one and only, I think, confessed to two, although he did withdraw, I think, the confession for one of them, because there was a problem where he was apparently roughed up by one of the police that interviewed him, and that sort of discredited or sort of made it hard to use the interviews and that. But some of the main issues that I have that I've heard a negative that I've an issue with is the character of Adeline. Apparently there was this neighbour that he did know and was kind of casually involved with for about 7 months, what we hear, but she made it out like they had a relationship in the press initially, and it was eventually revealed that they had not had an intimate relationship, that she hadn't gone into the house, that they weren't really that involved. She was just a neighbour, and they were just like friendly or something for a few months, and that was it. But in this, it plays it up like they have a relationship, and it seems a lot more involved. Now, the other couple of issues are, well, with the other murders, like I said, there was a girl called Georgia Jean Weckler. She went missing, a young girl, and there was also a 14-year-old babysitter called Evelyn Hartley or Hatley. I can't read my own writing, sorry. There was his neighbour, James Walsh, who went missing. There were some hunters who were warned off his property a couple of times who disappeared. Victor, Harold, Travis and Raymond Burgess, they disappeared. Of course, his brother died suspiciously while fighting a fire. It looked like Ed did it. So it's suspected that he was more of a serial killer. He wasn't just a ghoul, and that's enough. It's enough to dig up graves and flay the skin off corpses and turn it into furniture and masks and a costume to wear, so you can dance around in the moonlight in your lady suit, but your lady skin suit. That's enough. They didn't need to add anything to this, but I don't think it's that much of a stretch to think he might have killed other people and to show that. But how they showed it was the issue. They went full on trying to tie into the sort of legacy and legend surrounding him with the other films that were created, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They had him chase down the hunters on his property with a chainsaw, literally running around with a chainsaw, and then after he kills them, he's like dancing around and waving the chainsaw around with the lady face on, just like Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So it's a bit much, because he might have killed them, but would he have killed them like that? Because that film, they base superficial elements, like the farmhouse and what he did with the bodies in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it doesn't actually relate to his story at all. And the other issue was, oh God, there's a few. Well, I mean, they do focus on Hitchcock and Toby Hooper making the films and how he inspired people, and that's interesting. But they don't go into it enough, really. They just sort of, they connect it and they show it, but I don't really think they show enough of it. God, what was the other issue? There's something else that really stuck out to me is, really? Oh, supposedly they had him helping solve the cases of Ted Bundy and Richard Speck, who are other serial killers. That never happened at all. He had nothing to do with them. There was an anonymous source for one of these cases that we don't know who it is, but there's no way it was him. So that's a bit of a stretch. It's like they're trying to make him into some sort of Hannibal Lecter profiler or something. And they do try to get a lot of sympathy for Ed, which I kind of understand, because he had no chance with the mother that he had to be normal, and the situation he was in. Now, was he schizophrenic? Some people say yes. He was supposedly diagnosed. Other people say that that wasn't a real diagnosis, that he was mentally ill and couldn't stand for trial, and if it had just been schizophrenia, that wouldn't have been the issue. And supposedly when he was on his medication, he was a very nice, placid, gentle man, but yeah, he still did what he did and was very, very troubled. So yeah, I think they did stray a bit too far. But I think the worst part is this is fantasy at the end, where after Ted Bundy is captured, he is like being wheeled through. He's like rolling through this nursing home in his wheelchair, and all these serial killers are thanking him for inspiring him, and it's like a party, and there's nurses dancing, and his mother's there saying, "Oh, you sure made a name for the Geins," and it's just a bit much. And I think they need to treat these stories with a bit more respect, more accuracy. Considering he might have killed these people and portraying that was okay, but I think everything else is a bit of a stretch. So I just had to comment on that. I haven't watched it yet. I nearly got Netflix for it because I was really inspired, but then I sort of took a closer look and I'm like, yeah, I can wait, because I don't think it's like a real. I don't think it's really accurate, but it's. We'll see. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of it if you've watched.